Now, to discuss this in detail, we've been joined by Dr. DrRajaKashifJanjua. He's an analyst. Dr. Saab, thank you very much to have joined us. Dr. Saab, the Universal Periodic Review, as far as India is concerned, was held yesterday under the auspices of the UNHRC. 3 important countries supervised it, and the Indian human rights abuses were highly scrutinized. Pakistan has also highlighted it today. What do you feel will happen in the light of the observations of this independent rights group under the UPR?
Thank you. First of all, I will have to say 5th August was a very black day for Kashmiris because they changed the Kashmir status. So I think yesterday's events not possible to India to change Indian states status in Kashmir. They are doing all things by force. So how can they agree with
But you know,
United
Dr.
Nations?
Saab, they are doing everything by force. That is just what you have said. But the fact remains that despite all the human rights abuses that have been happening in the Indian held valley, nothing concrete has really come out as far as a reaction, a positive reaction in the form of action from the world is concerned. Why is that in your point of view?
I think India will do the same thing. They will not change themselves because they are doing all illegal things. Basic thing is demographic changes in valley. This is the basic thing they are doing. This is
But Dr.
going
Saab, you know, demographic changes, I understand, are important factors that are hampering the current situation in the Indian Hell Valley, but that is not the only thing. There are human rights abuses, there are rapes, there are killings, there are incarcerations, journalists who are jailed, people who are jailed, those who highlight this reality of what is happening in the Indian Hell Valley are being muted. Their Facebook accounts, their social media accounts are being muted or are being deleted or are being suppressed one way or the other. How can a country like India that calls itself the biggest democracy in the world function in this manner?
Yes, I think they call themselves biggest world's largest democracy in the world, but the in the other picture we see the situation is different, and I think all commissions, United Nations, they are unable to change the situation. They can undo this 370 or other things are very important for Kashmiris.
Do
This
you
is
feel, Dr. Saab, that Article 370 and 35A that you've just mentioned can be restored? Because this is what you're talking about, and this is something that has been also highlighted since some time. Do you feel this is a possibility that could happen after this review? Do you feel more changes can happen? Do you feel some kind of action needs to be taken as far as the international body on India is concerned? Do you feel something will happen following this review?
Yes, I think India is under pressure, and they can make change. I think they should do these things. Otherwise, how will survive India in United Nations? How will they face? This is the question. And now we are happy to see this condition. They are facing world now. Before this, they were happy. They were happily doing all things as they wished. Even they were, I was reading, to 20 or 2.5 million Indians are getting nationality or national status in especially domicile in Kashmir. And yesterday I was reading on Twitter, Israel is coming installing two agriculture plants or agriculture things centers they are developing in Kashmir. What is this happening? Can you imagine? They are doing all illegal things. They are changes the law. Forest Rights Act is totally demolished. They have changed FRA. FRA is very important for all India, but in Kashmir they are not seeing FRA. They are against FRA. Forest Rights Act, according to Forest Rights Act, they cannot cut forest. But in Kashmir, they are doing all the things. And I think now India has to stop all the things. I think this is the voice of time. This is
All
the
right,
time.
this is of course the voice of the time. This is also the voice of the people of the Indian held valley, and this is also the voice of the dozens of human rights organizations across the world that have made detailed reports about the human rights abuses in India, that have also contributed to this Universal Periodic Review that has recently happened in Geneva, including organizations here from Pakistan. But India seems to be not unconcerned with any changes made by under these reviews or under certain directives that have been given under this review. Do you feel India can continue to go on remaining indifferent to international laws and global calls for accountability?
They are still continuing all the things. They never see world is watching them, but United Nations responsibility, especially on these times. But 2 years before 2 years, they did all things. 5 August, the time they changed the things. Where is the world? The question is, do you think they will change their mindset, Indian mindset as a nation, as a state? I think not easy to change them, but they have to change.
Of course, Dr. Janjua, they have to change, because if they don't change, India is going to implode. This is what a lot of organizations are saying, because also Dr. Gregory Stanton, who's the head of Genocide Watch, has said that if the way things are continuing, they continue in the same vein, there's going to be huge genocide of all the Muslims, not only within the Indian held valley, but also within India itself. Now, in a statement by the Foreign Office, Pakistan has urged India to accept the recommendations that have been made by the Kashmir report of the Office of the High Commission for Human Rights and allow the office and independent observers to visit the occupied territory. Do you feel this is a possibility? Because in the past, India has not allowed the independent observers to visit the Indian held valley.
I think again they will not allow, because in human black laws we see they are political leadership behind bars. How will they allow them? If observers will come in Kashmir, in Indian Kashmir, they come and they see the condition will be open. So they will not, India cannot see these things. They will not allow them, but they will have to face the pressure of the United Nations, of the human rights organizations. One day will come, all things will be changed.
When, in your point of view, Dr. Janjua, that day will come? Do you feel that day is near? Do you feel it will take a lot more pressure on India for it to change its tactics towards the people in Indian illegally held Jammu and Kashmir?
I think that day is not near. They are.
All right, Dr. RajaKashifJanjua was talking to us. There has been some technical issue due to which, of course, this for the moment connection has been terminated, but we will come back to it. Nevertheless, when it comes to Indian